What if I told you that Stellantis could bring back the 6.2-liter Hemi V8 engine, dodge EPA fines, pun intended, avoid fuel economy penalties, utilize direct connection, power brokers, and still give us a factory back path to 700 plus horsepower in muscle cars, trucks, and SUVs? If that sounds too good to be true, Ford is already doing it, providing a blueprint for Dodge, and Stellantis is missing out on a huge opportunity. I'll explain how Dodge, Jeep, and Ram could sell a 6.2-liter naturally aspirated Hemi V8 on SRT models, and then let you, the customer, decide to add a supercharger later with full factory warranty to turn up the fun. The weather's warming up, which means it is time to bring your favorite ride out of hibernation. And what better way to kick off the season than by saving up to 15% off on the top aftermarket accessories for your muscle car, pony car, truck, or SUV. My friends at Just Bolt-Ons and DragRacingWheels.com have you covered. Use my promo code BUTTER at checkout, and if you need some sticky Mickeys, you got till March 31st to save up to $100 on a set of tires. So don't wait. Hit up my friends at Just Bolt-Ons and DragRacingWheels.com, where the best deals online just got even better. Ford has found a perfect way to keep selling big power V8s while avoiding government penalties. The Mustang F-150 comes from the factory with a naturally aspirated 5.0-liter V8, keeping their CAFE, emissions numbers, and their fuel economy numbers in check. After a customer buys a vehicle, they can add a dealer-installed supercharger kit from Ford Performance, or if they know somebody who is an ASC certified technician to get around those dealer shenanigans and markups, then this supercharger kit boosts to 810 horsepower for the Mustang, over 700-ish horsepower for the F-150, all with a full factory warranty from Ford Performance. Because the supercharger is added post-sale, Ford avoids the fleet MPG penalties and emissions fines. It is classified as an aftermarket modification, not a factory option, keeping Ford's books clean. And for right now, Stellantis is missing out on tens of millions of dollars in performance upgrades by not doing the same thing and saving out on compliance fines, which could be a benefit to Stellantis and to the dealerships themselves. Even though they went through this whole process of setting up power broker dealers nationwide and also setting up direct connection catalog for performance parts, Stellantis could just simply bring back the 6.2-liter Hemi. Don't even think about bringing the 6.4 back. Bring back the 6.2-liter Hemi, throw the 392 intake on top of it without a supercharger on it, and you can call that base SRT model. And then make customers have 3 different blower options that they can upgrade with on their vehicles. They can either get the blower from the Hellcat, the Redeye, or the D170's blower, and those can be direct connection exclusive injury accessories with a full factory warranty after installation, just like they do already with their stage kits.
Now, speaking about power, the other thing you've been hounding us for is direct connection supercharger kits, 2.7 and 3-liter kits. And you don't have to cobble these together looking through our parts catalog and trying to find all the parts and pieces to make them work. These are complete bolt-on kits. These are the factory performance parts that you've been asking for, like Hellcat and Redeye stage kits, tuned and updated with a direct connection PCM tuning module. These kits are emissions compliant and they won't violate your factory warranty. Our Stage 2 kit delivers a nearly 100 horsepower increase, and Stage 3 is under development for even more.
Offer this as a dealer installed upgrade for models like maybe the Dodge Charger Super B. Bring that name back since the actual Scat Pack name is tied to the EV. Bring back the Super B name, naturally aspirated, and then allow those customers to have 3 different options for blowers. Then maybe you can do maybe a Ram 1500 with a 6.2-liter engine in there, maybe a TRX version, maybe an SRT 8 version for a street trim, and then maybe a 6.2-liter in the Durango, maybe a Super B trim for that as well too, since they're both within Dodge. And then maybe let's just say a SRT Grand Wagoneer. That would be nice if they put a 6.2-liter Hemi in that vehicle right there. That way they can have choices to go after the Escalade. It would be nice if they put the 6.2-liter Hemi back in the Grand Cherokee. That way customers have an option to pick what kind of Trackhawk they want to have. But I think this is a great idea to sell the direct connection superchargers just like Ford does, but allowing customers in this particular case to choose how they want to upgrade their cars. They can go 700 plus horsepower with a 2.4 liter Hellcat blower for $4,000. They can get the 2.7 liter Redeye blower for 800 plus horsepower for $8,000, or they can go all into the Big Daddy and get the 3.0 liter blower from the Demon 170 to get 900 plus horsepower for $10,000, while still, as I keep saying, maintaining a factory warranty if installed by a Power Brokers dealer or hopefully an ASC certified technician, just like Ford allows customers to do. Because we all know that some of these Power Brokers dealers are going to price gouge the heck out of you if you try to go and do this option.
Seriously, to make sure everyone is taken care of.
Keeping them in check by allowing ASC certified technician to do it will help negate these markups these dealers are going to do, missing out on potential money. Now, Stellantis could still sell the 5.7 liter Hemi for budget performance models and not take up maybe the bulk of the sales like normally have done in the past. On the SRT versions, only give those vehicles the 6.2 liter naturally aspirated Hemi that you found in a Redeye. Just get rid of the blower, like I said, and then that way it'll allow anybody who actually goes to upgrade the vehicles to have 800 plus horsepower because of all the upgrades inside of that engine. And if customers want to go a step further, they can get the E85 sensor found on the Demon 170's Hellcat engine. Then they could probably go up to 900 plus horsepower, but I would not let them go over 1,025 horsepower, especially since they don't have the same upgrades on those engines like the Demon 170s do. And they're Hellcats, which, as I said in other videos before, yes, the Demon 170 has a Hellcat engine in there. You can go check out this video right here where I break it down that Dodge finally admitted that there's a Hellcat in there, just a smaller version of that engine. So I was right yet again. But for a Redeye engine with the Demon 170 blower, maybe I think through tuning, they could probably do something like 969 horsepower on E85, which I think that'd be pretty good, because right now on stage kits, I think the most horsepower they can get is what, 888, somewhere around there. But if you listen to Tim Kaniskis on this particular podcast, he basically did the same thing with the Charger Daytona and the stage kits. Dodge will give you better brakes, suspension, and tires on a car that's basically software locked down in horsepower by stage kits.
You still have to have hardware, right? You still have to have suspension, you still have to have brakes, you still have the tires. And that's why we said, hey, we're going to launch 3 different trim levels, but 2 power levels up on each of those trim levels is going to be available through direct connection. The reason that we did that and didn't say, hey, it's 1 power level and you can buy 8 more is because you need the hardware. So you buy the first car and we're going to give you the hardware that we're not going to let you outrun your suspension, your wheels, your tires, your brakes, and still step up. And then the next one, you're not going to be able to outrun your wheels, tires, brakes, and then the next one, the next one. So we're going to bake that capability in. If you buy the car and you never upgrade it, did you overpay a little bit? Yeah, maybe a little bit. You got a little more brake, a little more suspension, a little more tire than maybe you needed, but it's a muscle car. It's fine.
But what if in the version that I'm thinking, Dodge basically give you all the Redeye upgrades in basically a scat pack, and then you pick your supercharger route and go from there. Since the 6.2 liter Hemi is so naturally aspirated at the time of purchase, it won't count against Stellantis' fleet MPG or emissions compliance the same way as if it was offered with a supercharger that brings in worse MPG and emissions. So this strategy would allow Stellantis to avoid the same EPA and CAFE fines that killed the Hellcat era, while still giving customers a V8 in limited numbers for the SRT models, a Halo trim, and maybe a 5.7 Hemi on a budget model, and the inline 6 Hurricane and the EV models could still be in there to help further reduce compliance fines. Now match this lineup right here: a Dodge Charger SRT Super B with a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated Hemi with supercharger options available at a Power Brokers dealer. Now you get to pick between 1 of 3 blower options, which I'm thinking that if Stellantis basically allows you to throw down into the actual loan as a dealer add-on, and that way it can be thrown into your loan payment, I think this would be a pretty cool option to get more people interested in actually upgrading their car at the time of purchase. But you can go to a Power Broker dealer while you sit there with a finance manager. You pick between 3 blowers, and that basically be like an actual dealer installed option right there you pick from. You get either the Hellcat blower for 700 horsepower, you get the actual bigger blower, the 2.71 for the Redeye for 800 horsepower, or you go all out with a Hellcat blower, the 3 liter blower that you found on the D170 for 900 horsepower. Then you can do other add-ons like stage kits, E85, all through Power Brokers and all factory back And hopefully I'm thinking you can go and do this all when you're actually getting the car financed. Maybe you get a Hellcat Stage 2 package, maybe a Redeye Stage 1, or maybe you go all out with a Hellcat Stage 2. They make you have up 969 horsepower on E85. I'm just saying maybe I should be an advisor of some Dodge because I got plenty of great ideas that can help turn this company around. And I'm thinking that, hey, maybe you should just holler at me, man. Y'all got my number. I'm just saying, man, I tell you right here now, you can F the Dark Horse, you can F the C8 Corvette, you can F any BMW M Series cars, you can F any Black Wings. I'm just saying, if Dodge implement this, bring the cost down and allow them to have supercharger kits after the fact, I think this will be a huge win and people will be flocking back to Dodge non-stop. I'm just saying. And just maybe, you can do the same thing with the Ram, my dear friend. You can have maybe a Ram 1500 sport truck or maybe a TRX with a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter Hemi. And like I said the first time, have 3 supercharger options to take your street or your dirt truck to the next level. I mean, could you imagine being able to pick how powerful your Ram truck is and what fuel you want to run from 93 to E85, from 700 horsepower to over 969 horsepower with options? You know how easily this truck could embarrass a Raptor R and a Cybertruck? I'm just saying, like, this would be the baddest truck ever. And if you go through this route right here of being able to sell these trucks right here for a cheap price under 60, 70 grand with a 6.2 liter Hemi in there, because that was basically like the price you're selling Hurricanes at right now, and give me the option to have blowers and stuff on them, man, Ram, Dodge, Jeep, they would shut the game down. I'm just saying. But what if you wanted like maybe a mid-size SUV like a Durango or a Grand Cherokee, right? You put that same 6.2 liter Hemi back in those vehicles as a performance option, 3 supercharger upgrades through the dealers or to a technician, and you can own your own version of Durango Hellcat, Durango Redeye, or Durango Demon 170. Or with the Grand Cherokee, you can make your own custom all-wheel drive Trackhawk up to like 1,000 horsepower and just destroy everything running. I mean, could you just imagine how these vehicles are going to terrorize literally every other car or SUV on the road? You can move over to the Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer. They both once had the 5.7 and 6.4 liter naturally aspirated Hemis. Put the 6.2 liter Hemi in those vehicles now and let customers decide how much power they want to destroy Escalade Vs and literally any other SUV full size on the road now. And then for the actual Wrangler, you can put an actual 6.2 liter in those because you had a 392 in the actual Wrangler. You put this same engine in the Gladiator as well, and you can have customers decide how bad they want to destroy the off-road trails or just embarrass people sneakily with these vehicles. And I don't think you better keep blowers on the shelves if you allow people to have cheap 60, 70K 6.2 liter versions of these vehicles and then allow them to have a factory warranty and then add all this power. Like, you're sitting on a gold mine here, and I'm surprised that no one actually thought about doing this. But this keeps the HEMI V8 alive. It brings in factory back builds, halo trims on every single brand, and avoids higher government penalties and fines, and brings back big power to Mopar without Stellantis having to pay extra in fuel economy fines. And they can still, like I said, offer Hurricane and EV trims and make the owners that, hey, if you buy these other EVs and Hurricane engines, these allow us to make fun stuff in these other vehicles. That's basically what Ford came out of their mouths and said, that the Mustang Mach-E allows the Mustang to keep a V8. Just come out and be open about this, that if people buy these EVs and all this other stuff, that they will support this brand having fun vehicles. I mean, hell, I would buy a Charger GT rear wheel drive only version that's like 30, 40 grand to help support the ability for me to have a 1,000 horsepower Ram TRX or a Ram 1500 SRT model. I would do that because I know that it's supporting the brand to keep having fun as long as it can. And honestly, if they just bring back the 5.7 Hemi for budget vehicles, since I heard that those engines are cheaper to produce than Hurricanes, bring those back for budget vehicles for people to buy into. The 6.2 liter Hemi for SRT models, since SRT is allegedly absorbed into all of these other Stellantis brands. They are working on various brands and stuff and vehicles. It should not be that hard for SRT to get band together to beef up these vehicles, internals and axles, all the other stuff. And since most of them share the same drivetrain anyway, this should not be a very hard thing to do. But let me know what you guys think. If Ford can sell a 7 horsepower F-150 and 800 horsepower Mustang GT with a factory back warranty for a supercharger kit, there is no reason Stellantis cannot do the same thing with a 6.2 liter Hemi naturally aspirated. It's time for Dodge, Jeep, and Ram to stop leaving money on the table and bring in dealer installed supercharged power. But what do you guys think? Should Stellantis bring back the Hemi this way? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until the next time, I'm out.